In an interesting turn of events in the ongoing conflict between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, has compared his Rwandan counterpart, Paul Kagame, to former German dictator, Adolf Hitler, and warned that Kagame will soon meet an ugly ending, just like that of Adolf Hitler, if he doesn't change his ways. Speaking on the Friday of December 8, 2023, while on a campaign trail, in the troubled Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, President Felix Tshisekedi compared the Rwandan president to Adolf Hitler, over what he termed as Kagame's expansionist ambitions, that mirror those of Adolf Hitler. That, President Kagame's ambitions to expand his influence beyond Rwandan borders can be likened to those of Adolf Hitler, who in the 1930s had an overriding ambition for territorial expansion of Germany in Central Europe, an ambition that ultimately led to his downfall. That, just like how Adolf Hitler met an ugly ending, after his expansionary moves backfiring on him, in the late stages of the Second World War, Paul Kagame will surely meet such an ending, if at all he'll keep provoking DRC, and it is President Tshisekedi himself who will bring him to an end. Take a listen at what he said in that town hall meeting, in Bukavu city of South Kivu province.
Je vais m'adresser au président rwandais Paul Kagame.
I want to address the Rwandan President Paul Kagame,
Puisqu'il a voulu se comporter comme Adolf Hitler,
to tell him that since he wants to behave like Adolf Hitler, by having expansionist aims in the DRC,
je lui promets de finir comme Adolf Hitler.
I promise him that he'll end up like Adolf Hitler. It's worth noting that, for over 30 years now, eastern DRC provinces like North Kivu, South Kivu and Ituri have been plagued by violence by armed groups, many of which are a legacy of the wars that bloodied the region in the 1990s and early 2000s. Consequently, relations between the Democratic Republic of Congo and the neighboring Rwanda have been very tense since the 1990s, and the two countries have for the past 2 years experienced a peak of tensions, with the resurgence of the March 23 movement, which is supported by Kigali, that is according to Kinshasa and numerous sources. On numerous occasions, President Felix Tshisekedi has denounced what he terms as Rwandan aggression under the cover of the M23, accusing Rwanda, which he describes as a horrible neighbor, of wanting to monopolize wealth and enrich itself with minerals in eastern Congo. Therefore, in that Friday address, President Felix Tshisekedi also said that, when I took power as president of this country, I proposed a plan to live in peace with our neighbors, but the problem is that some of our neighbors have eyes bigger than their stomachs, and this is the case of my colleague Paul Kagame. But this time, Paul Kagame met a son of the country determined to protect his country against all kinds of foreign aggression, and I promise that I will stop him, and bring his ambitions to an end, because we must save this country and protect our wealth. Mind you, the M23 rebel group takes its name from a failed 2009 peace deal between the Congolese government and a now defunct rebel group that had split off from the Congolese army, and seized control of North Kivu's provincial capital, Goma, in 2012. The rebel group's leaders are mainly from the Tutsi ethnic group, which is also the ethnic group from which President Paul Kagame comes. On the other hand, President Paul Kagame accuses DRC and its army of backing the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, commonly known as FDLR. The Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, being a Congo-based mainly Hutu rebel group that includes some fighters who were involved in the Rwanda genocide. What do you think will be the best approach to be undertaken for this conflict between Kigali and Kinshasa to come to an end? Leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe before leaving.